parents, educators, care providers, and students. Welcome to the Toronto Zoo in our second session that we've offered up to everyone everywhere to be able to come and enjoy the Toronto Zoo during these times when school's not so easy to go to and be able to travel to go on field trips. Today, where we're going to go is somewhere different from the last time we were here, and it's a really unique place that I can't wait to show you. My name is Sean, and I'm happy to take you through one of the spaces in the zoo that we call Eurasia. So Eurasia is a very special place because it has two kind of spaces that animals and plants like to live in. One of them is mountains, and the other one is plains or flat areas. And we're going to try and see if we can see some animals that live in those spaces. But the very first thing that I'm going to do is flip my camera over so that you can see what I see. As soon as I find that thing, there it is. Now, it's winter here at the zoo. And believe it or not, there's lots of people who think that the zoo might close in the winter because there might be a lot of animals here that don't like being out in the cold. But in fact, the zoo has lots of different animals that enjoy being out in the cold just as much as they enjoy the summer. And one of those spaces that those animals live in is called the Eurasia Wilds, and that's where we are right now. So let's find some of those animals. And the very first one that I'm going to show you is a type of bird. This is a really neat bird. And there's one sitting very high up on a branch. This is a sea eagle. And eagles are some of the largest birds of prey in the whole world. Sea eagles, like this Steller sea eagle, is actually one of the largest eagles in the whole entire world. And if you want to figure out how big they are at home, all I want you to think about is how tall you are right now. One of their wings, when they stretch it out, is just as long as you are tall. So they have two wings. That means that when they stretch their wings out, they're as long as two kids tall. That's how big their wings are. Now they need these very big wings for where they live. It helps them to do their jobs during the day, which is to go hunting. Their name is sea eagle, and that's because they like to hunt over the sea, over the lakes, or the rivers, and they're looking for fish. Fish is their favorite food. And they're designed for catching those fish. So they have feet that are called talons, or they have claws on the end of their feet called talons. And those claws are curved, so they're a curved shape. And they can use those to catch fish, just like having hooks on the end of your toes. And they can use them to catch the fish right out of the water. So when they have the very long wings, they can soar. And when they soar, they can fly in the air without having to flap their wings. So they don't move their wings, they just stretch them out as far as they can, and they soar over top of the water, waiting to see a fish. And when they eventually see a fish, they can fold their wings in and drop down and catch the fish right out of the water and pull it out and take it to somewhere on land to eat it later on. So we see one sea eagle here, but there's actually two sea eagles. And the other sea eagle is in a different place in this exhibit, near a home that it has built. So let's go over here, and we'll find our second sea eagle is sitting near their home. And what is a bird's home called? A nest. Now, if you go into the forest near your home or in parks or even in your backyard, you might see a nest sometimes. It's usually built by a very small bird, and a small bird builds a small nest. But a sea eagle is a big bird. So a big bird builds a really big nest, and you can see they've just started to add sticks to their nest now. And they'll keep adding more and more sticks over time and build up their home, their nest. Once their nest is good enough, they think it's all done, well, then they can lay eggs in them. They have a greenish white kind of colored egg, and then the chicks would hatch from those eggs in time. Now, I told you that Eurasia, the area that we're in, has a lot of mountains and flat spaces. If a sea eagle likes to go hunt in the water, what does it have to do with mountains? Sea eagles, when they build their nests like this, they usually use the mountains or really tall trees to build these nests in. because look at that. Look how big their wings are. They build their nests in the mountains or up in very tall trees to protect their babies, to protect their eggs, because they know it's very hard for an animal without wings to be able to get there. So they use the mountains as safety. Oh, that's very nice. You get to see how large their wings are. Now, what I need everyone to do, I need you to stretch out just like the eagle, and we're going to soar over to our next animal. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, let's soar. So go up really high, and we're going to soar over to our next animal. Keep your arms stretched out as we soar through the air. Oh, we're coming down and we're coming down. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Stay high and back up. And we're looking for more animals that might live in the mountains as we soar. I see some mountains in the distance. We're coming in close. We have to soar down so we can land and walk into our mountains. And down we come. Okay, we're in our mountains now, and we're looking for a hunter that lives in the mountains. Let's come in this cave and take a peek and see. Oh, wow, look who came to see you. Look who's watching you. It's one of our snow leopards. That's amazing. Something you can notice about our snow leopard is they have a pattern on their fur. They have spots, so they have circles on their fur. The circles are dark, and then the rest of their fur is white and gray, and that is perfect camouflage. That helps them to blend into their environment so that others can't see them very well. And the others that they don't want them to see are the things that they want to hunt. Oh, look, he's saying hi. That's so cute. So we'll go closer. They might move away, but we'll come up closer and see. Look at the beautiful pattern on their fur. Do you see the pattern? Circles. And if we look at the long tail that they have, there's some spots and circles on their tail as well. Look at how long their tail is. It's like a giant scarf. Very furry. Helps them to stay warm in the cold. Oh, where'd you go? There you are. Now, snow leopards are hunters, just like the eagles, but they don't hunt for things in the water. They do that. Did you see that? That's a pounce. You got to see a snow leopard pounce. That's so nice. There he goes. He's going to go and explore. So our snow leopards live in the mountains. See what color the mountains are? They're gray, and the snow is white, and there's little dark spots here and there, just like the pattern on the snow leopard's fur. Dark spots on gray and white. Do you see? And that helps them to hide. And what they do is they'll go high up into the mountains, and they'll look for their food. They'll look for their prey. And they want to climb very high in the mountains and get higher than their prey. They want to be above their prey. And once they're above their prey, that gives them the ability to pounce down on top of their prey and catch them. And that's how a snow leopard hunts. Do you wonder what a snow leopard hunts? Well, let's move over here, and we'll act like a snow leopard. So let's sneak. We'll sneak over here, just like the snow leopard did to you. He snuck around the corner very quietly to try and sneak around and see what we can find. And just over there is what a snow leopard likes to eat. Those are mountain goats. This is a special kind of mountain goat called a West Caucasian Terrier, but we'll call them goats for now. They're mountain goats. And mountain goats are very good at one thing, climbing. If we get close enough here, and hopefully they don't run away, you'll get a chance to look at their feet. Their feet have hooves. And watch what happens when they move on the mountain. Their hooves act like really grippy shoes to help them climb up and down with very, very easily. Here, I'll walk around and see if we can still see them. So a mountain goat has special feet and special legs that are very bendy to be able to go up and down the mountains. The snow leopard that we just saw is really good at climbing up the mountain slowly, but going down the mountain really fast so it can pounce. But with our mountain goats here, they can go up and down fast, both up and down. And climbing is so easy for them. So their feet can grip onto the rocks very easily, and they never have to worry about falling off. Now, something else you might notice about our mountain goats is they have horns on top of their head. But their horns aren't the same size. If you look close, you'll notice that some horns are long and some horns are short. So if one of the goats has very long horns, that's a male, that's a boy. And if it has short horns, those are girls. So how many of these sheep have long horns and how many of them have short horns? There's so many to count. They keep hiding on you. They think maybe that you are a snow leopard. So if the males have big horns and the females have short horns, and it's the same animal, there we have a comparison of size. So two different sizes of horns. I'll move around the mountain here, see if we can get another view. Oh, we're being followed there. Look at that. There's a girl there. She's keeping an eye on us to see what we're doing. She's watching. There she goes. Okay, so we're really good at climbing in the mountains. So what I want you to do is to climb too. Let's get very low. We'll go very right down low. Okay, are you low? Are you as low as you can go? All right, I want you to start climbing. Are you ready? Let's climb up and up and up and up and up and up. Great climbing. Good work. Let's keep on going. So we saw different animals that live in mountains. We have a couple mountains here in our Eurasia wilds. But I said there's two places that animals live, two different spaces, mountains and in the big open spaces like plains, like grasslands. Let's go find some of the animals that you might find in the Eurasian plains. It's going to take me a sec to walk over there. It's such a wide open space. But not to worry, it's worth the walk. We'll come around the corner here and see an animal that's really good at walking because they live in a big open space and they have to walk a lot to be able to travel around. Do you see anybody yet? Do you see them? There's one there. These are camels. These are special camels. This is a Bactrian camel. A lot of the camels that you might see on TV are dromedary camels. So they have one hump on their back. But this is a Bactrian camel. How many humps does this camel have? 1, 2. Bactrian camels have 2 humps. A dromedary camel only would have 1 hump. And that's what's different about them. But both of these species, their humps are the same stuff. They're made out of fat. A lot of people think that a hump of a camel is made from water, but it's not necessarily true. What their humps are made out of is actually fat. And fat, if you're trying to picture what does fat look like, fat kind of looks like butter because that's what butter is. Butter is just a stick of fat, basically. So imagine having 2 humps filled with butter. It's almost what the camels have. Now, why would they want that? They keep fat in their humps so that if they ever run into a situation where they don't find food very easily and they like to eat vegetables and plants, if they can't find any for a long time, they can use the fat to get energy and stay active and healthy. If they can't find water for a very long time, fat can also have water in it that they can use to stay hydrated as well. So that's what those camels use their humps for. Right now you can see that their humps are very big, and that tells us that our camels are very healthy. If their humps start to fall down or get smaller, that's because they're using up all the fat inside them because they're hungry. But ours are very, very well fed, no problem. And you see that when they walk, they have big, huge feet that are very wide. And that's because where a camel lives, there could be a lot of sand on the ground, there could be a lot of dirt on the ground, there could be a lot of wet ground as well. And when you have big feet like that, that helps to be able to walk across all of that stuff very comfortably. They're like having little cushioned shoes that they have on their feet. This is our male. His name is Zip. So if you want to spell his name, it is Z-I-P. You can try that. If you want to draw a picture of Zip, you can. And his name is Z-I-P. Now we got one more creature that we're going to go and try and find. So let's walk like a camel. And we've got a lot of walking to do, of course, to get to our next one. So let's walk like a camel. And go all the way over to our last animal we're going to see here on our tour of the Eurasian wilds. And our last animal is going to have a new pattern for us to see. I hope we get a good image here. I walked by earlier to take a peek to see, and when I saw her, she was having her breakfast. So we'll see what we find. There's her home. Keep an eye out. Nothing yet, but that's okay. Hopefully we can come around the corner. And find our next animal. Well, there's a clue right there of who we might see. This is a very beautiful pattern that we're going to find on this animal. It's not circles and spots like we saw with the snow leopard. It's a different pattern. Do you already guess who we're going to see? Who do we find? Well, if you guess tiger, you'd be correct. But it seems to me that our tigers might be in their back home because the keeper is taking care of them right now. But that's okay. We have a picture over here of a tiger. And if you tune into any of the other sessions that we're having today, you might be able to see the tigers then too, because we are coming back into the Eurasian wilds to see them again. But look at that. There's a tiger. And what's this pattern that we see? We don't see circles or spots. We see stripes or lines. And tigers have beautiful dark stripes on an orange fur now. And that helps them to camouflage the same as the snow leopards. It helps them to blend in to their environment. And the tigers don't live up in the mountains like the snow leopards do. They live out in the open or in the forests where they hunt for animals like deer. And they are big, huge. Look how big this cat is. This is the largest cat in the whole world, the Amur tiger. And we have them here at the zoo for you to come and visit. Now, they hunt in a different way. They don't pounce like the snow leopard does. They chase their food. They chase after their prey. So they're very good at running quickly to be able to catch up to their things that they're looking for, like those deer. And they will run. But first they do the same thing that the snow leopard did, is they'll get very low and quiet, and they'll sneak and sneak and sneak. So let's sneak. Let's get low and sneak. And then once they can get close enough, that's when they will chase after their food. And then they can try and run to catch up. So you can run too. You run as fast as you can or move as fast as you can on the spot. And you chase after your food. And if you're able to catch it like the tiger does here, then you can have your prey. All right, everyone. I hope you had some fun today moving around in our Eurasia wild and see if we can find different shapes and patterns out there in those areas with the different animals that we found. It was so fun to have you come back and visit, or if this was your first time, thank you for coming and visiting us again. We will be having other sessions today, so please do tune into those too if you feel. You certainly can. And these will all be uploaded onto YouTube for you to watch at any time. Again, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for supporting the zoo. And until next time, have a great day. Bye, everyone.